Hey guys, we're back, another weekend. We need to button up this exhaust. So we got that side mocked up. We got, let's see. I was contemplating on whether or not to put a V-band on the other end of that. There is one right at the bottom, but if we disconnect that, that whole section can come off. I think we'll be okay without adding a V-band. There's a lot going on there already. I'll check it out, to be determined. And then we got this side here, need to make the connections here. Then I can pull it apart and weld it. That's today's plan. It's time to get after it. Having it on this rack is nice, but it's also kind of a pain. So, also, I still have boxing plates to put on the inside of the frame rails. I'm sure I touched on that. All right, add a little piece of tape as a temporary quarter panel brace. Keep everything where I want it, just like this one. Now I gotta match this. Be interesting. All right, so got my tape. Just want to get the gap so they're the same and square. I'll tape it to this one. We'll start with that. Kind of work from there. Left off, this was on there. It's tight. 2 5/8. You can tell already this one sits higher. This side here actually sits about 1 inch higher, so that could be a problem. So I don't know if I got that in this. I may have to remake this tube. Huh, that'd be interesting. Yep, I think I'm gonna have to redo this one. Not off to a great start. So, that's cranked down. I need to climb out of this thing. Grab a 13 mil for this V-band. Take this off. I will hold this piece to a 90 degree that I have sitting here and add 1 inch to it. Tack it all together and we'll be back. I'm gonna cut my tacks off here. Oh, it's looking so good too. Try to salvage this V-band because they're not cheap. All right, got it set up. Fingers crossed. Let's cut it. Stainless takes a while. Try to cut it nice and slow and get a nice straight cut. There we go. Check in on that in a second. I am just going to put a couple smaller tacks on this one so I don't have to redo it again, hopefully. We'll go test fit it here. I just cleaned up the V-band a little bit so the tube will sit in it, stay. I didn't even clean this up, so I am all over the place. All right, let's go. Climb back into the truck, see how this thing fits. So it's got a little curve to it the way the exhaust is coming out, so more on that later. maybe. This end here, obviously it's long. I'm going to trace it with my Sharpie that I don't have for the glove. So what I need to do, I'm going to trace that at 1.5 inches, cut that off, put that back in. Got this one marked. I'm going to cut it off. This thing was in about 1/2 inch into there. So this edge here will technically mount up with that. And then this 1.5 inch line is what it needs cut out. So I take this, attach it to the flange, and then I can put it in there. So I'm gonna do that. Got this all tacked together. Got this cut down. It's just a couple tacks. Also got this bellow tacked on here. So I'm not gonna weld it out all the way. I'm gonna take it back, bolt it up, and continue on the build. And then we'll pull it all out as a whole. That's the plan. All right, finish bolting that on, and then we'll get back inside. Whipped up this 90 here, and basically just matching it up to the other side over there. So I know these aren't going to be 100% symmetrical. First impressions, this thing sits a little low, so, but I'm going to tape it on. Looks like I need a 45. Big old piece here. Shoot from the hip on this deal, measurement wise, but I'm going to cut that, see how it fits up. I still think I might have to take a little bit out of this. All right, that's cut. Took a little wedge cut out of this to square it up with 90. Tune up these flanges. I need to cut the 45. We'll take this one here, cut out a section of 45 here. Let's go fit these up. See what we gotta do next. A lot of fitment stuff, and it doesn't make it easy having to climb in and out, but it's the way it is. Let's get it done. All right, got this thing all wrapped up here, the sweet tape job on it, and my little marks. So I'm gonna pull this out, this one as well, and take it over to the bench and weld them up. I'm gonna look it over, make sure we're good and symmetrical, side to side. I know, they're a little weird, a little wild, but I think when it's all done, they'll look pretty cool. I'm gonna pull off this section here first, without this end. I'll pull that off, take that to the bench, but I'll weld them all up in sections. So that's the plan. See you guys at the bench. I gotta be careful not to move this stuff around a lot. I'll pull the tape off, do a couple tacks on it here and there to get it into place so it won't move, and then we can burn it in. Getting back, my phone was about dead, so I put it on the charger for a bit. I got one side, this is the passenger side, all welded out. We'll go see if it still fits in the rig. Start in on the driver's side next. So yeah, looks pretty cool. Definitely a little rusty at welding. It'll come back around. I'm gonna throw this thing in there, see how it looks, and we'll go from there. That side is in, just need to finish tighten the V-band. I got the outside bolts in. This is all gonna change, I think. I'm not real thrilled with the way that looks anyway, so got all that off. I know it's kind of hard to see, but gonna move to the other side and get that one out of there and start welding on that. Start tacking this thing together. Finally got the second one done. Holy moly, that took a long time. Definitely a little rusty. Kind of a wild piece too when it's sitting here on the table and all. This one's ready to go back in, so I'm gonna slam this one in right now. I'm gonna go in and investigate, see how it looks. Let's go up the sketchy ladder. And there you go. Rear view. The old bull horns or ram horns or whatever you want to call them. Kind of cool. You can kind of see where the bed floor is going to sit right there. It will be under the bed floor with plenty of room, but yeah, pretty wild. Can't wait to hear what it sounds like. Up front, I still need to do the wastegate, but plumbing wise, we are just about done. I'm gonna hop in there, tighten down that V-band, and call it a day. Till next time. All right, guys, we are back. Another weekend. I have a few little things I need to do to completely wrap up this exhaust. The last weekend, I wrapped up the side exit stuff here, all that biz. And now I need to take the main pipe coming off the back of the turbo and add a flex joint in it for vibration. And then also need to tackle the wastegate stuff. So we'll move up front. So this is what I'm up to now. We're on the top side here. We got the wastegate right here. And the problem is this flange on the back side is aimed right at the valve cover. I want to dump it into the turbo exhaust here. So we need to basically cut this whole flange off right here and then clock it, re-weld it so that's aimed in this direction, can go between that stuff there. That's the goal. I got to pull the turbo piping off, the wastegate, and pull that whole Y piece out of there. Then, once I'm done with that, I need to put this expansion deal on the tube, down low, somewhere you won't see it, just for vibration. And that's my goal. I'm gonna start pulling this thing apart. Luckily, a lot of this stuff is just hand tight, just mock-up stuff. I'm excited to get this portion wrapped up here. It's been a long one, but mainly just because I'm slacking. Too many other things going on. All right. So this is the flange, just pointing in the wrong direction. So we'll keep that. Be nice if this rotated, but this is the flange I need to turn. All right, so we got a bunch of V-bands. We got 1, 2, 3 connections, and then a couple bolts there. A lot of stuff, a lot of plumbing going on here. I wonder if I can just leave that turbo dangling. It's held up kind of by the cool side pipe and the exhaust. That'd be neat. Grab a wrench, grab socket, be right back. Just getting these last 2 V-bands off of here. Hopefully that hot side doesn't go, oh, yep, under pressure. Hot side's a little sprung. Turbo's not the widest thing. Okay, there we go. That's what I need to cut off. We'll cut it off right underneath there, rotate it, re-weld it. Good to go. With my super nice marks, alignment marks, this is the direction I want to go. So I need to cut this flange off here where it's been welded, and then counterclockwise so it's squared up. These 2 holes will be squared up with this line. So I'm gonna put it back on. It'll miss that valve cover right there and go straight for the turbo outlet. We'll work on tying all that tubing together. So get this turned, and then I need to come up the flange and tubing to mount off the back of the wastegate. So, yep, that's the plan as of now. Got our little rolly fab table set up over there. TIG welder's all hooked up, ready to go. So I'm gonna cut this off and get to it. Got it cut off wheel. I'm gonna clean it up and get it ready to weld, clock it, weld it back on there. Sucker's cooled off enough to handle anyway, so it'll be kind of tricky because I gotta roll this thing up. The turbo's sagging, it's got some weight to it. Let's just see here. If I could just lock that in, that would be awesome. This one here, coming off of the intercooler, is the pipe itself is sprung a little bit. What's going on? All right, things are happening. Let's see, where are we at? That one wants to go together, so let's get that one together. This one's snugged up. Luckily, I was smart enough to take the lock nuts off of there, so I can just spin this by hand, kind of get it snugged up. It'll be enough to hold it seated. I can still rotate it and all that. All right, next one, I think, that's got to come up a ways. Yeah. Oh my goodness. It's kind of heavy. On my tippy toes. I think I'm going to grab a block to stand on or a step stool, something a little taller. Then I can get some leverage and yank this thing up on there. So this thing is pretty heavy with the downpipe, and it's under pressure down there too. Once I put the flex joint in there, it should be a little easier to handle. Be some movement in there, but anywho's, be right back. Taller ladder. Struggle is live. Oh my goodness, it's so close. Just can't get my arms in there. Get up. Holy moly. All right. Got my rickety jigging up here to take weight off the turbo, get it up in the air. Everything else just kind of came together at that point. Just wanted to snug this stuff up. I'll get the turbo set back on there. Loosen it up just a little bit. So the turbo needs to come this way, so we'll see what happens when we let some weight off here. Well, that goes away. All right. All right, so, yeah. Not sure why that's pulling back so far. Let's see. All right, I need to bring it this way about 1/2 inch, and I'm not sure why anything changed. The rest of the exhaust must be under pressure. See, my downpipe is pulling out down here too. Holy moly. All right, I'm gonna get this thing set up. I'll pull this off before I destroy it. Maybe. Nope, I'll keep it on there. Still try not to destroy it. Behind the scenes magic, and this thing just came together. Just like the TV shows. Turbo's lined up, everything's lined up, everything's happy. Can't wait to do that again. I don't know why it does seem like it's shifted over a little bit. So, clamp that so it stops moving. And someone's here. We're back in, everything's clocked. Okay, make sure that's tight. All right. Snug up this turbo bolt. Okay. Now I need to find this flange, wherever the heck that might be. Round up some tubing. Get a game plan where this is going. Some tubing, all sorts of tubing. Summit, yeah, all that stuff. So this is what we got here. Weld flanges, stainless. So these guys. Yep. So this is what we'll build off of. Okay. Alright, so we got 90, a nice 180. So yeah, I got something to build off of. Also, I got this tight little guy here from Vibrant. So I can kind of clock where it needs to go. So I guess what I need to do, round up some hardware, bolt that to it. I'll get this kind of prepped out, and then we can figure out how we're going to build it. Also, what was that? I should probably see if I got a V-band somewhere. I got a whole bunch of stuff. I need to remember where I put it though. Bunch of parts in here. Nope. All right, I'm gonna round up a V-band if I got one. Be right back. So we are bolted on right there. There's our flange. That's what we need to connect it to. Should be pretty straightforward. Gonna have to do a big fish mouth cutout here. I've been kicking around the idea of how elaborate I want that to look, but in reality, it just needs to do its job. Doesn't need to get crazy about it. But I'm gonna grab some tubing and I'll play around with that. Check back in a minute. All right, guys, after messing around for a bit, I came up with this. It's not the prettiest thing. I thought about adding some shape to it to kind of mimic that, but ultimately, just kept it simple. Got a kind of a fish mouth shape to it here on this side. Almost weld it there. It'll do the job. I mean, I kind of would like it to come around a little bit more. At least this is the first revision, I should say. I mean, it does the job for sure. No big style points on this one. But I can still get this valve cover off, I think, hopefully. I may need to do something like this, actually. That would give me more room. Yeah, that might actually work a little better. I'm gonna reshape that mouth a little bit. The process, just kind of going with it, figure it out. Yeah, still working on it. All right, after a long time battling tubing, I decided to go back and add a little more style to it than just being straight, because I don't leave anything alone. Meanwhile, burning up almost all my mandrel stuff, but I think I got a solution. I'm gonna put you down and we'll be able to see what I came up with here. So I got this little bend here, and I think, yeah, that should work. Kind of kicks it around the valve cover a little bit. It's weldable. I'm gonna throw a couple tacks on this and then throw it back on. I'm gonna try to fuse this together in here. A little tight on a ladder. Could go wrong. Well, I'm gonna go clean my tungsten up again because I screwed that up, and I'll try it again. All right, I managed to get this thing tacked together. I'm going to pull it off, weld up those two joints, and then figure out a game plan on this. I need to take this off and open up that hole where that sits. That'll be interesting. Not sure the best way to do that. That's some serious commitment right there, but I'll tape it really good, I think. Mark it out. I don't know. Hopefully it stays put. All right, decided to start trimming holes while it's in the car. I know you can't really see it too well, but let's see if I can get you in there. Let's see, yep. Right under there. Yep, still hard to see. I did some Sharpie lines and I outlined it, and I'm just trying to open it up while it's in there. I'd like to be able to tack this tube on there so that when I pull the rest of it out, it stays put, and I can weld it out of the car when I do the flex joint. So that's my plan. Now I got to figure out how to whittle it upside down in a tight place. Got the plaza out. That worked out. Trying to drill upside down was not working, especially in stainless. Now it's gonna be kind of hard to tell, but got the hole down there, stayed within the Sharpie lines. I think we're good to go. I'm gonna mock all this back up, throw a good tacks on there if I can. Try to, hopefully it's not all gapped out horribly, but yeah, I think we're close. We get all this stuff picked up and put back together, check in after that. All right, mocked back up. Got this guy, sorry for all the lights, it's probably not working good, but right here, flange, back here, need to weld this. So I'll weld what I can to get it on there so it doesn't move when I take it off later. But yep, drag up the welder, get busy. Got her tacked on. I just did about a 1/4 inch tack. Now it's kind of hard to see down there. That should be enough to hold it in place, keep it from twisting. Now I can pull off that main pipe and weld it up. And with any luck, it shouldn't move. If I can get another tack in there, I definitely will. And then I'm on to taking that thing off. Go down below. Sorry. Go down below, get that last V-band off of there, snake this tube out of there, check it in a second. Alright. So, this is somewhere in here we got to put the flex joint also, so this needed to come out. But now that I can see that joint, I need to get her welded up. All right, that's all welded up. That guy. Now I have this. Got to find a home for it. So what I'm thinking is hiding it down here maybe. I could put it back here. Back here might be best. I get more flex out of it where I need it. help line these things up a little better when they go back together. So I'm gonna measure this thing out, get it in the bandsaw over there, and start putting it together. All right, got her all welded up. I think it'll work. It's super hot. I'm gonna let it cool down, and then I'll try fitting it back in the truck. Hopefully everything bolts together, and then check that off the list. And that is the last of the exhaust, which is exhausting. Well, again, if you made it this far, thank you guys very much. Finally done with the exhaust on this thing. Wow. So, sorry if the light's blinking. It doesn't look that way to me, but I know how the LEDs pick it up on there. But finally got the wastegate pipe plumbed in, got the extension down there. I know you can't see it, but yeah, all done. Yet to be determined if we're gonna polish all the exhaust. I mean, it is stainless, so why not? Or Cerakote it, I don't know. That's for another day. But man, plumbing, done. At least exhaust is done. Still plumbing. Got air lines, got oil lines, got fuel lines, got brake lines. We got lots of plumbing still. Done with the exhaust. Sticking with that. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And yeah, thanks for following along. Until next time, guys.